News 4.
Oh, NBC.
I did, it said NBC,
You said
News
NBC.
4. Or,
I thought you meant the Metropolitan Broadcasting Corporation.
they could be one of them, I don't know, but I'm just gonna say either way, but they need to, I think they need to stop.
What are they saying?
They say there's a fair hike coming up, but the way they're saying, like, everything's gonna go up like.
20, at the moment, they are scheduled every other year.
The only thing I'm gonna say is that.
What is not known is the amount of each of those, and should congestion pricing or another long, sustainable form of income come to the MTA, whether any of those could be done away with. There is a fair, substantial number of board members that would like to see some done away with.
I agree, because the half fare and the low income cannot afford getting on a bus or subway, in order to be the expensive subway system. It's not fair. The other one is, as you know, they postponed the 82 SBS. Do you have any new updates on that?
An amazing number of transit advocates are upset with that postponement. They think that cars are being favored over transit or bus riders. I think the fact that this runs on Kings Highway in a major thriving retail area where they must have deliveries and things has a little more, it's a little more complicated than just cars versus buses. Those stores must get their deliveries, obviously.
They do, but there is an issue.
And it's narrow, yes.
Well, yes, it's narrow, but the issue is there's double parked trucks and they do delay the service at the same time. But at the same time, and I think it's very clear to all the officials, it's not NTA's fault, it should have been DOT, should have been done, and should have had an open house for them, which they didn't do. And Kings Highway, it's also blamed because they should have had, the business should have had a meeting with all those stores, all down Kings Highway, from Bay Park all the way down to Ocean, to let them know what's going on. RC knew about it.
Yeah.
The rest of the line is being built as we speak, but
there is a movement in various parts of the city to limit commercial deliveries to night times. They're testing it in various places. Yeah, I mean, night times where they're not till midnight or, between 6 and 10 p.m. or something.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I mean, not all night. And because there would be overtime costs for that too.
not just that, it's also people who live.
If that is successful, I see this section of Kings Highway as a perfect place where you could have the SBS bus and still get deliveries to the commercial
Well, and the
tenants.
SBS is linked to the L train.
Yes, of course.
Because at least Kings Highway finally, as of yesterday, this is what I just want to add in. Kings Highway is a little more, they want the bus. They just didn't like how DOT set up a plan without letting them know. The only thing, it's a miracle, 2 store owners had to apologize. And I said, the only people who need to apologize is the MTA. Because MTA will always let you guys know of anything comes up in not in just 1 month, but at least 3 or 4 months ahead notice.
What's the typical running time for the B82 now, pre-SBS?
With the local or limited? Because the limited one, limited depends. There's days it comes in 5 minutes, sometimes it comes in 10 minutes.
I don't mean the frequency, I mean the running time from end to end.
Supposed to be unlimited, supposed to be an hour and 15. But with traffic, it will then it gets worse.
Have you heard what the proposed running time would be if it became an SBS?
A little more faster.
Fewer stops?
Same stops, but there is still an issue with one stop that does not make any sense and does not transfer for another bus.
Okay.
Which there is supposed to be discussion that it was supposed to be moved one stop from their Bay Parkway, moved to still on Kings Highway, because there is a transfer for the B4, which they leave that out.
Okay. Mr. X?
So regarding the 2019 fare increases, basically you're saying the public hearings will be held later this year. They'll start before 6 p.m. at a time when people are still working for the umpteenth time. They'll be advertised in an untimely manner, or they'll be unadvertised altogether, which is what I've seen over the years. There's a good chance 2 public hearings will be scheduled for the same day, which I've seen in the past. They'll be held at colleges.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that again.
They're not doing what
Not
again?
two on the same day.
Okay, but they've done that,
Yeah,
and I blast them about that.
and you know, they go till 9 PM to accommodate people that work.
Okay, but I'm saying, starting them before 6 PM is a bad idea.
I think they wanna get in as many as they can, many people as they can, so.
Okay, but basically what you're saying is,
So if you end work at 5, and it's not far from you, you could go and testify.
okay, so I expect, the MTA head, looks at one, if one by car, will be absent for most of those public hearings. Because that's what I've seen over the years, the heads were frequently absent. I blasted her predecessor because he was frequently absent at MTA public hearings. In fact, I did it here. Yeah, Prendergast was preceded her. He missed 7 MTA public hearings.
Her.
I said Prendergast. Prendergast preceded the current head.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
blasted him about his absence, as there was no excuse for it. I went off it. I don't know if you were here one night, blasted him in that room.
I was here.
Yes, I did within the last 2 years.
Well, Chair Loader might be a different breed.
No, look, listen, what did he do for the MTA in 2012? He did nothing for me. He trashed me. Okay, and I still remember, he was supposed to hold 2 public hearings on November 7, 2012, only held 1. And the public hearing he held had bad attendance, and some servers post-hurricane census had been restored. It should have been postponed. But he wanted to do everything his way.
Mr. X, when you schedule the public hearings, is prescribed by law. You have to have it so many days before the proposed fare hike.
Right. I
So
understand.
once you've announced it, you gotta do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that since some post-hurricane census have been restored, those public hearings should have been rescheduled. None should have been held in November 2012. They should have been postponed. But
I think
he
they
wanted
could have
to.
postponed the fare hike.
Yeah, but he wanted to rush, like rush into marriage, which is what his compadres did. He just wanted to rush things and forget about us. That's inexcusable.
I hear you.
I expect that'll happen in the next coup.
You know,
I don't expect to see a change.
you can't see a newspaper on any day now that doesn't have an article about MTA or something that's occurring, whether it's the pit bull attacking a woman on the 4 train, or somebody getting pushed off the platform at Union Square by somebody wearing a Make America Great hat again. I mean, the stuff, every day, every reporter is looking to, make their bones on the backs of the MTA. So I think in this spirit of transparency and being in the public eye every day, I'm going to assume that Chairman Loda will do everything in the right way for these fare hikes.
Don't bet on it, as I said.
Okay,
He trashed me in 2012.
I heard you.
Andrew.
Yes, this gentleman.
Yes. You know what would be better, speaking of dogs, you know what would be better for vicious dogs like that when a person got bit? It would be better for them, and it would be better for the owner to have something to cover the dog's mouth and,
Muzzle.
yeah, it'd be better to have that protection on dogs on the pit bulls like
That
that.
still allows the animal to breathe normally, doesn't it?
Yeah, they can still breathe, but it's better to protect them from biting people.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen so many dogs on the trains, but I've seen them in they're really small, and they're in people's laps, or they're in a carrier, or they're in somebody's over-the-shoulder bag, with their head peeking
Yeah,
out.
that's what they.
I have yet to see a dog the size of this thing,
I saw it
unless it's a
today.
service animal,
I
of course.
saw it today.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody have anything else?
Might have been the same dog.
Did this gentleman have something?
Yeah. I just wanted to add one more thing. I've been thinking about the lapse times. Like, for example, people should be using the common sense about timing the train. Obviously, the system can be perfect, so MTA shouldn't be to blame for everything. Like, people should have the common sense to leave before, but obviously, we know people run into things that they end up running late or there's traffic. But you know, on the old trains also, it's very hard. I just wanted to mention for deaf people to be able to know what's going on with delays because there's absolutely no visual information. We just see a bunch of people getting up off the train and we have no idea what's going on. On the newer trains, we're more aware of what's happening. It's still not 100%, but I think there should be something planned for the old cars to have some sort of replacement for the signing and the captioning. Because there's kids coming from schools, from meetings, there's deaf people of all ages, so they need to have access and it's for safety reasons too.
Okay, so the answer to that would be there is no way the MTA is going to spend money on the R32s, on the R42s, and on the R46s because they are the next breed that will be replaced by the 179s and the 211s. This is not to be cutesy in any way, but even people with good hearing cannot understand some of the messages on some of these older trains. They are that unclear or that soft. All of the new trains do come with strip maps. I've seen the R211 prototype when it was stored there, and it not only does it tell you the next station or the next group of stations, it even has lighting, colored lighting on the doors to let you know what side the doors will be opening on, which I think is a great
Will it say if
improvement.
there's a delay, can you have a digital readout?
Yes,
saying
because I think
delay is happening for
we will
this
be in the
result?
period of real-time information by then, by the time those cars arrive, and so right up on the strip map, it should tell you about delays.
They should do
Andrew,
the announcement
Andrew,
for the
instead of giving him the numbers of the cars, which most people and most riders don't know, maybe you could give the information to them about
The
which
lines they're running
lines,
on?
which lines have,
Sure.
most, I mean, they sometimes put in others,
Yeah.
but because the general public does not know.
Yeah. The A and the C and the J, well, A and the C have three different types of cars. They have R46s, they have R32s. Let
No,
me
but
see.
those are the ones that aren't good.
Yeah, those are the
You're gonna
old
let him know
ones.
the ones that, right
Right, yeah, those
now,
are outdated.
he can go on.
The new ones,
Right now.
Sure.
That have the strip maps and the colored lights and.
yeah, I mean, all of the trains that are utilizing R160s, some of the C, some of the J, the Qs,
Yeah, I
The
noticed
E,
some of the
Fs,
Right.
E,
the E, all of the
sometimes
Es,
be on an
yeah.
R,
Yeah, there are some Rs, yeah, some Rs,
And a lot,
W's, yeah.
and most of the.
Ws, right?
And then on the other division,
Yeah,
the
and-
numbered, almost,
Yeah.
all of, some of the numbered trains.
Yes, the
Almost
fours,
all of them.
fours and the fives,
Yes.
And
and some
also,
sixes.
the issue isn't just
And
related
number
to
seven.
deaf people, it's to tourists.
7 actually has some new
R,
R188s.
R188s.
Yeah, but anyway, I think
So there's
that
quite a few
really-
lines with it, with good
But I
signs.
hope that that is more helpful than giving you the numbers of the car, you know. Is that more helpful to know which
Yeah,
one?
they're on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
And,
most
but it's
people don't know
also
what
for
car it is.
tourists as well from other countries, it's not just about deaf people. There's a lot of people that live in New York City that aren't native English speakers, so they're double the confusion.
But there's one
And-
wrinkle, and that wrinkle is those automated signs, unfortunately, are only as good as the conductor that set them up for weekday or weekend. Sometimes the conductor will have a weekday strip map and information on a weekend, which lists trains that are running, which are not running on weekends.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be accurate, but it can be and will be helpful, at least that some of them, some of the time,
Oh, yeah.
are accurate
Yeah.
and give accurate information.
And I have been on Transit's case about the announcements that are made on various trips. Because on trains that aren't automated, those announcements are only as good as the luck of the draw on the conductor that you happen to get. So I have mentioned this to President Byford and Frank Giesecke, and they say they have a program that they are working on, which would, depending on the time of day and the route, automatically produce a script for the conductor to read, so there won't be any mistakes, depending on time of day, and that would be an amazing improvement.
Yeah, I agree with that, it definitely will be.
It really would be. Yes,
I reached out to you probably, I'm gonna say maybe around 2012. I came to a meeting. I think it was the first one I came to, and I reached out, and I called the other day, and I left you a very urgent message. I don't know if you got the message. You didn't get the message?
you called where exactly?
Here. I called here.
You called the PCAC
Yes,
office?
sir, yes.
Did you know who you spoke to?
Don't remember, I'm sorry. It was very urgent, and very urgent. So when we're finished, I just need to speak to you for a moment. It is very urgent. Question, that camera's working, right?
I hope so.
Thank you. Very urgent, I need to speak to you.
Okay.
Very, very urgent.
What day did you say you called?
A couple of days ago, maybe it was last week, I don't know, because I wanted to make sure that I could come. Because another time you had a meeting, and I called about coming, and they couldn't find me in the system that I was here, you know, supposed to come.
What's your name? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
so you-
I don't want to say it out now.
Okay.
I'll speak to you. Very,
Anything else before we have to adjourn? We have to leave this room. So thank you all
Adjourn.
for a great meeting.